Welcome to Work Smarter TV. I am Maarten, and in this video I will explain how cell references work. What's a cell reference? Well, let's say we have in the first cell we have a value, let's say it's 10, and we want to have the same value in cell A4. We can do is, and we can click it, or we can also type it. Well, then what you can see here, the A1, that's called cell reference. You have, and this is a very fundamental principle in how Excel works and how you can use it. A cell reference has two parts. It has the column letter, in this case the A, and the row number, the 1. And you can also say, okay, let's say if we calculate something very simple, the sum of this whole range, then you can see that this formula is filled by, this is called the data range, everything from cell A1 until cell A5, everything that's in between. And if we say, okay, we add 5, it appears, and then the sum goes up. And the cell range, the cell references are of course the same. I'm just typing in some data so we can play around with it. Now there's something more with cell references. It's very important. You can have them either in two ways. You can have a relative cell reference, which are all cell references you type in Excel are by default relative, which means if we now copy and paste our data, move it around, then the cell reference will move around just as much. If I copy this cell reference, oh, sorry about that, and I say copy, and I paste it here, paste, you can see that the original cell reference A1 has become B1. That's because I copied it one cell to the right. Same principle goes for rows. We say copy, and we say paste. And you can see that what was A1 here has become in this cell A2. That's because we copied it one cell down. Now the way you copy it, 4, 5, 6 doesn't matter. We can also use it here, and we can also use the Ctrl+C short key, Ctrl+C for copy and Ctrl+V for paste, which can save us a lot of time. But these are all by default the relative cell references. Now Excel also uses absolute cell references. If I click in this cell reference and press F4, it adds $signs. And this means that the cell reference has now become an absolute cell reference. If we now copy it this way, even though we move it one cell to the right, it still refers to the same old cell. And this works for columns, but this also works for rows. You see, it's still an absolute, it's a reference to the same cell. This is called an absolute cell reference. Now we can also do this. We can say, yes, I want the reference to the column to be absolute, but the row I want to be relative. So we delete the $signs. And if we now drag it this way, it still refers to A1 because it says, yeah, but we always want to pick it from this column. This column is absolute. But if I copy it down, then it still refers to A, but it has moved. Since we moved it, copied it down one cell, it has also changed the cell reference from A1 to A2. The same works with rows, of course. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel via the subscribe button above the video. And you can also check out my website worksmarter.tv by clicking the link in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.